I still get hundreds of scam emails every week, and upwards of 90% of the scam baiting I do doesn't really go anywhere fun. So while we're all waiting for the next feature-length episode, let's take a look at a few shorter ones. These are the scammers who dumped me. I received an email claiming to be from Citibank, saying, "Hello dear. Please, my name is Miss Isabella Smith, a citizen of the United States, presently serving as the head of audit, remittance department here in our branch United Arab Emirate, Dubai branch of Citibank. I have a business proposal that would benefit the both of us, which I wish to discuss with you. Kindly get back to me for more details." I replied, "Okay." The scammer sent back an incredibly long pre-written email about a fund of $6.2 million US, supposedly lying in a suspense account, and with a story about presenting me as the completely legal and legitimate owner of it. The usual mix of assurance that this is all perfectly above board, and yet at the same time how Isabella could not be linked to the fund, and that it must be cautiously kept confidential and all that. Which must be true, right? I mean, after all, the scammer asserted being 101% sure there is no risk. All righty then. But it was such a very long email, so I replied, "Wow, can you explain that in fewer words, please?" The scammer said, "Please carefully read it again and you will understand it." Now that sounds like the sort of nonsense I would say, so I stood my ground and said, "It's too many words. Explain in simpler and shorter terms, please." "Okay, I have some amount of funds, $6.2 million, I want to transfer to you for my investment plans in your country." Which, interestingly, my country is unspecified at this point. It's excess profit made by this branch, which I'm the audit manager here. I need your attention to support and achieve this great deal. Excellent! I decided to play a little game that one of my line managers enjoyed playing with me a number of years back. I mean, I assume it's a game. The game is called "This Summary Isn't Very Detailed." The game consists of asking for a summary of some long document, which I've already done here, then complaining about the brevity of the summary and asking questions that were already answered in the unabridged text. So I wrote back, "Thank you, this is an excellent summary. However, I feel it's lacking detail. Where did the money come from? Why did you contact me about it? What are you expecting me to do, and when?" Isabella, the scammer, sent another very long email, highlights of which were these delightful fake IDs comprising a fake US passport where the photo definitely isn't just a badly pasted edition, and this Citibank identify card. The misaligned image is probably a security feature. Something. Anyway, the email contained a lot of the same waffle about the suspense account in Florida, United States of America, instructing me to contact a lawyer character, laying out the terms for the supposed embezzlement, and of course, asking for my personal details. You know, the sort of details you should never share with a stranger on the internet. I said, "Isabella, pop it. That was a very long email again. My time is valuable. All I ask is that you try your very best to write a brief summary without leaving out any important details. Is that too much to ask?" Isabella replied, "I wanted you to read it and understand the whole process about this transaction. Anyway, please, you should provide the below details to enable my lawyer, Barrister Brandon Graham, proceed to secure all required legal documents regarding to this great transaction." And repeated the request for my personal details. You know the kind. I protested, "I am not ready to proceed without further explanations." But that appeared to be the end of it. Isabella dumped me. I received an enticing offer to participate in the exciting world of pharmaceutical purchasing. This is not the first time, but this time it went like this. "I'm Dr. Dixon Williams, working with Chugai Pharma UK Limited as a research scientist. I am sorry to indulge your privacy, as I have a business proposal that would interest you, and I shall explain deeply if I get a response from you in this regard." Dixon Williams? Isn't that one of those uncredited actors from some obscure western, I think? Yes, I'm sure of it. Anyway, I said, "Okay." Dixon replied, "Dear sir, how are you? I'm Dr. Dixon, working with Chugai Pharma UK Limited. As a research scientist, one of the leading biopharmaceutical companies in England. I'm looking for a reliable businessman/individual in your region," which interestingly again, my region was not specified at this point, "to represent my company in sourcing some of our basic raw materials used in the manufacturing of high-quality antiviral vaccines, cancer treatment, and other life-saving pharmaceutical products. This may not be your specialization, but it will be another income-generating business out of your specialty. This is because our company is yet to locate any supplier with the exact specimen to buy from. However, I have been able to discover a local dealer who can supply us with this correct specification of the product. He is selling at a good rate, which is far cheaper than our previous purchases. My company is not yet aware that I've found a new supplier. I want you to stand in as the new local dealer from your country, and I will introduce you to our company. The reason for this is because I don't want my company to have direct contact with the local manufacturer that sells this herbal oil extract very cheaply. This will enable us to work together as partners and make outstanding profits. You, as the local seller, will supply our company at a good rate, which I will inform you later when we are in agreement, and this will attract the attention of our company to buy from you as against the previous rate. You will be amazed at our total profit. I will give you more specific profit details when I receive feedback from you, if you are interested. Now, I'm not sure where this scam would go if I was an actual victim, but since it's talking about me supposedly standing in as a middleman in an expensive business deal, I think we can reasonably guess that it would involve me opening my wallet at some point. But who knows? I don't, so I said, "Oh, I don't know anything about these matters. Can you explain what it is you're looking for, and I'll research it." Dixon explained the name of the herbal oil extract is Zicogenin, or is that Zicogenin Herbal Oil Extract VLV45. Zicogenin Herbal Oil Extract VLV45 is used in the suppressive drugs for HIV and COVID, gives good analytical result and proved a corrective cancer cure and helps in the cure of tuberculosis. Zicogenin Herbal is not the name of a snake, is it? Anyway, the email rambles on and on and on about this supposed miracle oil and how I was to stand in as a dealer, a middleman. I asked, "I've never heard of Zicogenin Herbal Oil Extract VLV45. What is it?" I thought this might be something simple like saffron, which is a kind of red string. "I am not sure I can help with Zicogenin Herbal Oil Extract VLV45. Dixon repeated, "Zicogenin Herbal Oil Extract VLV45 is used in the suppressive herbal oil extract for COVID-19. "Well, it seems that you know more about this than me," I pointed out. Dixon replied, "Yes, that's why I need you to partner with me in this business." But I said, "I think it might be better if you handled it yourself. I know almost nothing about this substance. What colour is it?" The scammer responded, "We can work together on it and share the profits, as my company is ready to buy once it is the correct specimen. I await your response." I asked, "Why don't you just buy it?" Dixon said, "My position does not allow it." "That seems like it would be a hindrance to your duties," I observed. "Why don't you ask for permission?" Dixon stopped responding for a while. That didn't stop me continually pestering for a reply, though. Eventually, "Yes, how can I help you?" I replied, "That was going to be my question to you. How can you help me?" Dixon said, "Please, if you're ready to partner with me, kindly inform me." I replied, "Okay, yes, I am almost ready." But there was no further response. Dixon had dumped me. An investment advisor emailed me. "I am an investment advisor representative. I write to you with regards to my inquiry to locate relations of a deceased client who has your last name. My client left unclaimed funds here in Belgium, the sum of 5.8 million euros. For details, contact me. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Regards, Philips Benelux." That's right, Philips Benelux, which is a completely normal and plausible name, like Peter's Commonwealth and Jeremy's Pacific Alliance and John's Cooperation Council for the Arab States of the Gulf. Anyway, I replied, "Never heard of it. What?" Philips explained, "This transaction is 100% risk-free. I mean, aren't they always? As we shall observe every legal procedure and carried out under legitimate arrangement that will not breach either the law of your country or mine." Ah yes, my country, which I have not specified. My late client, John 2, lived in Belgium for over two decades. He died of a heart attack last year after the demise of his wife and 2 children in a car crash. Due to the fact that nobody or any member of the family came up for claim of the fund, as John's financial advisor, I was contacted by the insurance institution about their decision to confiscate the fund and revert it to government treasury as unclaimed. Insured permanent policies not claimed after 10 years is declared as unclaimed assets in accordance with existing laws. This is why I contacted you to stand as my deceased client beneficiary and claim the fund, because you share the same last name with him. Ah yes, because I said my name was Monge too. Right. Anyway, we've seen this before. This is the very, very standard unclaimed inheritance scam, where they will simultaneously persuade me that the deal is 100% risk-free and legitimate, and at the same time it must be kept very secret in case anyone finds out and we get into trouble. But anyway, wow, that's sort of a long email. Please, can you explain that all, but with fewer words? Phillips was kind enough to summarise. Late Mr. John 2 died and left behind the total sum of 5.8 million euros. I want us to claim this money because you bear the same last name with him. Legal documents that will certify and justify you as the beneficiary will be arranged. I said, "Thank you for your brevity. However, I feel there are some important details missing from this message. For example, are there not some legal ramifications? How will the objective be achieved? How is it possible to just appropriate these funds?" Phillips replied, "I had already in my previous detailed email informed that this transaction is 100% risk-free, as we shall observe every legal procedure and carried out under legitimate arrangement that will not breach either the law of your country or mine. We must obtain legal documents that will legally certify and justify you as the legitimate beneficiary to the estate of late John 2, which we will also file an application of claim to the holding financial institution for the release of the fund to you as beneficiary." I said, "Okay." Phillips continued, "To kick off the process, I would have to prepare an application for claims, along with other legal documents that are necessary to present to the insurance/financial institution as my client's bona fide beneficiary. I'll need you to send me the following information to prepare the paperwork. You know, the kind of information you should never share with a stranger on the internet." I said, "Okay." The scammer repeated the request for information. Sort of pushy, I thought, so I replied, "I said okay." Phillips wrote, "Compliments of the weekend. I wonder if you've received my previous email. Let me know your plans for the project." Well, I've got a lot of scammers in the air right now, and I can't be expected to remember them all by name, so I said, "I don't remember. Perhaps you could send it again." Phillips asked, "Why haven't you sent the information required?" I said, "What information?" The scammer clarified the kind of information. I said, "Why? Who are you anyway?" The scammer said, "I am meant to believe you are not serious, but, Joker, I do not have time for trivialities." "Well, you may not have time for trivialities, but that's the only thing I have time for." I replied, "What is it that you actually want?" The scammer wrote, "I don't know why you're still contacting me. You are not serious with the transaction, and I must confess, I do not have time for unserious people." Rude. I said, "What? How can you say that? I love transactions." But that, sadly, was the end of that. Another scammer email. Attention from Western Heritage Bank, /, "With regards to why I contacted you first is because I would like to inform you that your long-awaited $8.5 million, which has been released from the FBI now, and it have been diverted to Western Heritage Bank, where we have already registered an account for you, and your funds has been deposited as well. So we will advise you kindly reconfirm your information to enable us make sure we are not making wrong delivery. And note that you're not paying any fee, and thank you from Western Heritage Bank." Ah yes, my long-awaited $8.5 million. Wait, I didn't know I had such a fund. Mr. Fred Hammond replied to me twice to say, "I understand. An explanation will come in full detail on how you got this fund, but for now I need the requested information as to enable us profile your fund release, which is the most important thing for now. An approval for the bank to release the fund is needed, and then I will give you in details anything you need to know about this fund." I replied, "Firstly, why did you email me twice? Which one am I supposed to reply to? Why did you do this thing twice? More importantly, I did not know I had a fund. Are you trying to make me accept a fund by force? Because that's rude." Fred Hammond replied 3 times to say, "If you do not want this fund, please make it known to me, as I am not forcing you to accept it, okay? I will need your WhatsApp number to fasten up our communication." I asked, "Why did you send me 3 emails? Are you okay?" Fred said, "Give me your WhatsApp number. I think this will solve the issue at once." "You think so? WhatsApp? I don't have that app. Also, why did you send me multiple copies of every email?" Fred replied, "I guessed you are not ready for this transaction. Let me know once you decide to change your mind." So, if you decide to change your mind, is that the same as changing your mind? Or do you have to decide first, then change it? I should have asked that, but I said, "I don't even know what it is. What transaction? Please tell me, but once only." Fred said, "If you're not ready for this to take effect, let me know, as I am willing to close the portal." I pleaded, "Please don't close the portal. I am nearly ready." Fred said it was important for me to provide some information to proceed. You know, the kind of information you should never share with a stranger on the internet. It must have been important because he sent that email twice. Except, wait, Fred was now Philip Monte. I repeated, "I don't have that app." Fred, "No, wait, Philip," explained, twice. "It's easy to download. Go to your Play Store or App Store and type WhatsApp, then download it and follow up by registering with your number. Do this as for us to proceed with this transaction." I counter-explained, "I would prefer not to." Fred Philip replied, twice, "I think we will stop here, as I can see that you're not ready." I asked, "Why did you say to stop and then say it again? Why do you think I'm not ready? Just because I don't want WhatsApp? Seems a bit childish. Also, what happened to Fred?" And we may never know because the conversation just ended there. And finally, a little conversation with one of those fake hackers on Instagram, the kind that you see spamming all over the comments on YouTube, where the username of the spam account contains the name of the scammer, and they point at it with emojis or other Unicode characters. Their Instagram profile pages are usually pretty funny, trying to pass themselves off as some sort of genius hacker. Monica Flange got in touch with one of them after seeing this comment. Here's how that went. As usual, as soon as Monica had made contact with the Instagram account, there was a chat message saying, "How may I be of help?" Monica said, "I wondered if you can." "Let me know how I can," the scammer replied. "Okay, how can you?" asked Monica. And the scammer provided a list of hire a hacker services: phone hack, iCloud unlock, remove passcode, cheating partner monitoring, Snapchat hack, WhatsApp hack, Instagram hack, email hack, Facebook page hacked, lost cryptocurrency, recover deleted massage, and car park. "Is there anything else?" Monica asked. "Facebook, Instagrams, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, WhatsApp, emails, phone tracking, computer hack, lost crypto recovery, funds recovery, cheating spouse tracker, PayPal hack, Cash App hack, legit, trusted, safe." Monica observed, "Some of those are the same. What about mass posting of comments under different accounts? Can you do that?" "Yeah, sure," said the scammer. "I thought so," said Monica. "On this Instagram account or another?" "On YouTube." "Like spamming the comments. Can you do that?" "What's your YouTube?" asked the scammer. "Yes, I can." "I thought so," said Monica. I don't have a YouTube. I live in Brazil. So you can post multiple comments on a video, all with different usernames, Monica innocently asked. Yes, said the scammer. Like, for instance, I was recommended to meet on my lost coin and I didn't regret it. You're wonderful. Yeah, said the scammer. I thought so, said Monica. So this was you? Not me, said the scammer. Oh, I thought you said you could do that, said Monica. Someone actually recovered his lost coin recommended me, explained the scammer. He recommended you? Asked Monica. He changed his own username to your ID on Instagram just so he could go... I mean, why? It doesn't make sense that someone would do that. The scammer explained that's because I gave him a good service and he already promised to recommend me if I can get it done for him. But Monica wasn't satisfied. He changed his username because you gave him good service. The scammer further explained he was actually scammed $10,000 worth of USDT. How much of that was your scam? Monica asked. Me, said the scammer. What are you trying to say? How much did you charge him? Asked Monica. 10%, answered the scammer. And he changed his username? Monica asked. That's a thing that actually happens in the human world. The scammer laughed and said, have you ever been scammed? Something worth your life savings? Monica said, how is that relevant? There are lots of things I've recommended, but I never needed to change my name to do it. The scammer laughed. I don't really know why he did it that way, but in my own opinion, I think he's overwhelmed with my service. Does that happen a lot? Asked Monica. I can't say, because I don't know, shrugged the scammer. So you don't think it's unusual? Pressed Monica. Nope, said the scammer. Can I ask you a question? What do you do for a living? Monica said, I help people. You're actually writing me like a private investigator, said the scammer. How does that make you feel? Asked Monica. Have you been investigated before? Nah, said the scammer. What can I do for you? Monica asked, have you ever been involved in or do you seek to engage in money laundering? Have you ever been arrested or convicted for any offence or crime, even though you're subject to pardon, amnesty or other similar action? Have you ever violated or engaged in a conspiracy to violate any law relating to controlled substances? Have you ever been directly involved in the coercive transplantation of human organs or bodily tissue? Have you ever committed, ordered, incited, assisted or otherwise participated in torture? Have you ever ordered, incited, committed, assisted or otherwise participated in genocide? The scammer said, nope, I've never been involved in any of the above. Monica said, would you like to? I help people. Oh, Monica, that's a bit dark for you. Anyway, that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, stay safe from scams, and I hope to see you again soon.